Welcome to CTV News Year Canada. It is Monday, March the 2nd. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
It started as a Nintendo video game and a story.
It's about Ash, who's going through his journey of getting badges and catching all the Pokemon.
The battling pocket monsters grew into worldwide success and a culture all on its own.
It's really evolved.
From cards and collectibles to movies.
Oh, I've been a fan since I've been a kid.
Just grew up with it all the way through.
This is already like our restock.
30 years later, Pokemon still has a devoted fan base.
It's like a piece of your childhood. You're reliving the collecting experience with the person in front of you who has the cards every single time. So a couple cool items here.
And at Denerion Games and Cards, co-owner Danielle Levine is stocked with thousands of treasures.
I like to compare it to sports cards. It's the best way I find to get people who aren't in the hobby to understand what it's like.
Sean Newcomb has been collecting all his life. Today he's buying and opening this high-level box set.
There we go.
A water Pokemon. A quick check on its value.
He is worth $86.
Not bad. These cards can be worth a fortune.
We did have a first edition Charizard that we traded about a year ago. It's about $15K.
The Pikachu Illustrator, a rare 1998 Japanese Holy Grail card, sold this month at auction for a staggering and record $16.5 million. And I want in on the action.
This is like a 25-cent card.
Come on, don't thunderbolt me on this.
I can't budge. I'm sorry about that.
Well, this card has no trading value. Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise ever. The Pokemon world consists of 1,025 characters.
This year marks the Pokemon series' 30th.
And on this day, its creator Satoshi Tajiri announced more to come.
That will be the beginning of the 10th generation of Pokemon. Live streams here in the shop.
Across the city, like many game and card shops, Denerion is hosting weekend events.
An open play and a trade night here at the shop with more giveaways.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
It's like a processor right there, then a magnet right there.
Anabia Bilal is the first person in North America to have a new type of cochlear implant, allowing her to hear certain sounds for the first time.
The rain, you can hear like a tiny droplet, then the weather, and I can hear the wind.
The 10-year-old from Fergus, Ontario is at Sick Kids for some tests to see how the implant is working. She's been hard of hearing since she was born.
My hearing deteriorated in 2024.
As her hearing got worse, she became eligible for a cochlear implant that stands apart from those before.
The first time that the part of the cochlear implant that actually goes inside the body is upgradable without needing an additional surgery.
Dr. Sharon Cushing is Anabia's surgeon and the director of the cochlear program at Sick Kids. She says Anabia's implant can connect remotely like a telephone, so when technology improves, Anabia's hearing will improve.
It's exactly like getting an update on your phone.
The implant comes from Australia and is called Nexa. Anabia had surgery on August 1st and immediately started training her brain to hear sounds like never before.
Initially, it sounds like a little bit like R2-D2, so beeps and not stuff that doesn't sound like language. But over time, kids will come back and you say, what does it sound like today, 3 months later? Oh, it's normal, because the brain is that powerful.
Dr. Cushing says some families are hesitant to put cochlear implants in both ears for fear that new technology will come along requiring more surgery. But this helps patients like Anabia focus on immediate improvement.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing awesome.
6 months after surgery, Anabia has improved her life in ways she never expected.
She will probably get to where she needs to go in the next few months.
Now her brain is detecting sound in a way that helps her focus not only on what she hears, but improving speech and...
I didn't have confidence, but implant, I had more confidence.
And it will only get better and better. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Perfect. Craig Weatherspoon describes himself as an outdoor rink enthusiast. He wanted a more efficient way to build and maintain an outdoor rink that he maintains by his home near Wascana Creek. That sparked the idea for this mini Zamboni.
I went over to the El Richie, actually, and studied with the fellow that does the Zamboni over there, and he showed the basics behind it. So that's where we ended up with what we have back here in the picture.
It just so happens that the Regina Downtown Business Improvement District was looking for a way to resurface its skating rink in Victoria Park. Their director knew just who to call.
He was my grade 8 teacher in the 80s, we'll say, and he really has, I always say he's the reason I am who I am today. He really did a lot of work both in North Central and throughout the community.
So the former student and teacher had some discussions about Witherspoon's creation. Gibbons asking him how much would it cost for him to build one the bid could use for the downtown rink. But Witherspoon decided that there would be no price at all.
Quite honestly, I'm dealing with somebody that I've taught. She's doing things that I like to see be seen done within the city. I mean, when the fact that these skates and this ice surface is there for anyone that wants to skate on it.
Gibbons says she is thankful for people like Witherspoon who are looking to make the city of Regina a more vibrant place for its citizens, so much so that Regina Downtown Bid made Witherspoon a sponsor for the Victoria Park rink.
We're talking about how great the Zamboni is, how lucky we are to have it. It's huge when you guys just did that path.
A former pupil and educator teaming up to get things done in the Queen City. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
16-month-old Caden was born with infantile Pompe disease, a rare genetic disorder that can weaken the heart and muscles. His parents say there was a time they weren't sure he would ever leave the hospital. Today, he's reaching milestones they once feared might never come.
We have so much hope for the future. He's on an amazing treatment. If that treatment stops working, there's another one that we can move on to next. And there's so much money putting into gene therapy for Pompe disease, so we're really hopeful that eventually there'll be a cure or even better and better treatments for him.
Caden is one of the children who was invited to rare disease celebrations hosted by the Children's Health Foundation, aimed at improving care and raising awareness.
1 in 12 people in this country have a rare disease, and they're often diagnosed in early childhood. And so our team here working with these children can give them the chance to actually live the life that we hope children will grow up and live.
Rare Disease Day is recognized in more than 100 countries. Local clinicians say it's an opportunity to spotlight research underway in the region.
We've just received funding for a new app called My Rare Care Bridge. This is going to be a one-stop shop. It's going to be patient-owned. It's going to help communication barriers between patients and their healthcare providers in terms of just saying, this is my disease, this is my care plan, these are my meds. And hopefully that will get rid of some of the barriers in communication that are occurring on the day-to-day basis.
Physicians working directly with families say even getting a diagnosis can be life-changing.
It doesn't matter how the prognosis is. Having an answer, finally, after so many years, is so strong for these families to at least have an answer, at least know why things have happened, even when we say, well, there is nothing to do. It's even better, of course, when we have a targeted treatment for that condition.
There are now plans to create Canada's first regional pediatric rare disease registry through the Southwestern Ontario Rare Disease Program, with the goal of better understanding and improving care across the region. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
When the money coming heavy, best believe I split it up. Give it to my brother's family, the ones that rocking with me since the day I started. Since the day I started rocking, since the day I started spitting, since the day.
This is Freestyle Fridays, a social media production that turns different parts of Windsor into a musical backdrop. Local rappers stepping up to the mic for a chance to share their music online. But late last week, as a Freestyle Fridays video was being filmed in front of the Windsor Water Tower, a neighbor nearby took notice.
It looked like a crime scene of sorts. I thought something had happened. So being inquisitive, I went out and asked the young fella, I said, what's going on? He said, well, we're shooting a rap video. And so we got to talking. I said, well, yeah, I used to play around the city.
In fact, he was a member of a traveling band called 8 Guys Named Mo from the late 1970s to the early 2000s. And other than at his local church, he had not performed publicly in years. That is until later that night when Freestyle Fridays let him step up to the mic.
I wanted to give him a platform, help him get his name out, and hopefully all together we can, fund his dreams.
Music enthusiast Sam Costin says when he moved to Windsor in 2018, he fell in love with both the city and its local talent. So he combined his passion for music with a platform designed to give emerging artists a free space to perform.
I'd like to build it to something where it really means something to be on the channel, and a career can really form out of this page.
We all have pain. We all have sorrow.
As for Bishop, who now spends much of his time in his art studio, the 74-year-old says the video is not about whether this leads to anything more, but rather a reminder to keep pursuing what you love.
If you have a passion in your life, don't give up on it. Get back into it. And you'd be surprised how it'll make you feel and how it'll make other people feel. It's a good thing.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Some of tomorrow's brightest entrepreneurs are in this room, taking center stage to share ideas they've spent countless hours creating.
The first time I did this, I was super nervous. I honestly don't even remember the day. It was so hectic. But being up there now, it is one of the most it is the greatest feeling, honestly.
The 2026 Enactus Atlantic Canada Exposition brings together post-secondary students to pitch projects they believe can address today's economic, social, and environmental challenges. One of the ideas competing today is CapCycle,
which is a project where we recycle and reuse used plastic bottle caps, and we repurpose them into beautiful products.
250 students are participating this year. Their ideas will be judged by local business leaders. Enactus President Catherine Fowler says it may be a competition, but it's really about collaboration.
It's an opportunity for all these students from this area, all of the Atlantic provinces, to come together and actually exchange ideas and see what the other students are doing that might be similar to them and how they might learn from one another.
And she says the new ideas get more impressive every year.
You come to one of these competitions and you see these young people just taking all of these wonderful, meaningful risks and leadership opportunities and learning to work with one another in person and really do creative and wonderful things for their community that has a positive impact is deeply inspiring.
The winning team will receive funding to further their project and earn a spot representing Atlantic Canada at the National Exposition in Montreal.
A lot of teams are working on similar problems, but we're all taking a different approach, which is really beautiful. It shows there's not one solution to the world's biggest problems.
Today, they're just students, but tomorrow, they hope to be much more. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
A community cornerstone in downtown Cambridge is now closed. Customers flocking to Grand Cafe Friday for a final beverage, baked good, and goodbye.
Didn't know if I'd get back here one more time before the last day, but I'm glad I did. I get to enjoy one last cream cheese bagel from them.
The coffee shop was opened back in 2003 by Michelle George and her husband Michael.
We moved here from Toronto then, and we were really missing a coffee shop, and there wasn't anything downtown where you could get specialty coffee. We missed it so much that when we saw a for rent sign in this location, we thought, you know what? Let's do it.
It began as a takeout spot, but soon grew to include sit-down dining. Over the years, the cafe saw everything from major construction projects to major productions.
We've had a lot of different film crews in the area over the years, and of course The Handmaid's Tale was definitely one of the bigger productions.
Along with some famous faces.
We've also had Richard Gere here.
And while not every customer has been a celebrity, many are celebrating the memories made.
This has been my happy coffee place for 23 plus years.
They were always wonderful to us. We've really enjoyed the experience.
Especially sharing coffee and treats. I've especially loved the brownies, and unfortunately, they're all gone today.
George says the decision to retire wasn't easy, especially with so much history and close connections brewed into the business.
It's not just a cup of coffee. It's relationships that you build.
A tearful farewell paired with a heartfelt message of gratitude.
Thank you to everyone who's supported us over the years. You'll forever be a part of the Grand Cafe memories. Thank you.
As for what's next, many customers I spoke with say they hope this corner continues to be a community hub for the next generation. As for the owners, well, they're going to be taking a well-deserved break to travel and spend time with loved ones. Alexandra Hullick, CTV News, Cambridge.
It's a special day for the polar bears at Assiniboine Park Zoo.
Today is International Polar Bear Day, so it's a day that was created by Polar Bears International.
Conservation Research Associate Casey Ryan says this lands at a time when polar bear mothers and cubs are in their dens.
We want to protect those habitats, the denning habitats. Cubs are really vulnerable, especially in the first few years. There's about 50% mortality for cubs.
This comes as a new study out of the universities of Manitoba and Saskatchewan is providing more details about the relationship between humans and polar bears.
Polar bears are not seeking out human infrastructure because they are starving. That's not something we're seeing.
For the past 11 years, a research team has tracked 580 polar bear visits to human infrastructure along Hudson's Bay using trail cameras. It found the number of visits depends more on the amount of sea ice there is and not how desperate the polar bears are for food.
This means that if you have a year with less sea ice, you're going to have more bears on shore for longer. You're going to be more likely to see these visits.
When people see that first polar bear, it's just a moment of awe.
Alex Capiro with Frontiers North Adventure, giving polar bear tours around Churchill, says with the declining polar bear populations, she hopes this day can bring more attention to conservation.
This is a critical time for polar bears. It's the most vulnerable stage of their life, and this day is all about raising awareness for that.
While back at the zoo with a weekend of activities planned for International Polar Bear Day, Ryan hopes visitors gain a new appreciation for the Arctic creatures.
We love the bears around Churchill and everything. People love to see them, so it's important to keep their habitat safe.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
So it was just a lot of like industrial here before there was the Matart.
September 1976, the Matart Conservatory, designed by architect Peter Hemingway, opens in one of Edmonton's oldest neighborhoods.
Peter Hemingway obviously had a really good design because we've had this now for 50 years.
It honors two philanthropists who created the Matart Foundation, a charitable organization that focuses on early education for children.
It was built in memory of Merrill and Gladys Matart.
Megan Gergatz McMorrin has worked at the Matart since 2021. She calls the building's pyramid design iconic and says what's inside is just as unique.
There are 4 different biomes. So we have tropical, we have arid, which we're in right now, so like a desert lacking water. And then we have temperate, which is change in seasons. And then we have a feature pyramid that changes 6 times a year.
The feature pyramid has been home to many different exhibits. In 2013, Dueling Knights launched the Matart Sword in the Stone theme. In 2014, a giant polar bear made from more than 7,000 white carnations was introduced.
It holds the water and the carnations will continue to stay alive.
Yeah. And in 2018, Museum of the Moon took visitors to outer space.
It's a 23 feet in diameter exhibit. It weighs 100 pounds.
Most of the Matart's displays are more grounded. This prehistoric pine called Wollemi arrived in 2009 after it was rediscovered in 1996.
So they thought it was extinct from millions of years ago, but then there was a bushwalker, somebody who worked for the park in Australia, who was walking, just literally walking, and they found it. So they found about like 100 of them.
An American agave plant that was donated to the Matart in the 70s put on a show in 2012. It started growing up to 1 foot a day until it was 30 feet tall before it finally bloomed. The plants bloom once in their lifetime and then die.
It's not really, I would say, floriferous, like impressive, but they're there and they're all opening and doing its part, hoping it gets pollinated, which it won't at Matart, unfortunately.
Some people have compared it to dirty diapers. Some people have compared it to when you find a dead animal on the road, and so it does have a strong stench.
In 2013, a corpse flower made a stink when it bloomed at the Matart, only the third time the flower had been grown in Canada.
And immediately we thought, of course, it sounded like a great assignment for meteorologist Josh Clausen. He is joining us live from the Matart. So what do you think it smells like?
Why would you see stinky things and think of me and send me down?
Because you've got the best smeller.
Josh put someone else's smeller to the test to find out how stinky the flower really was.
Yeah, I've got Mingus here. Mingus, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, Mingus is going to smell Evan said hockey locker room, and Mingus is going to smell my goalie glove and then compare it to the flower. Mingus, smell this. How bad does that smell?
Much worse than the flower.
Much worse than the flower.
While the smell wasn't enough to clear the Matart out, it was closed for renovations a couple of times. There have also been some unexpected repairs.
In all of my history with the city and here at Matart, I've never heard of this happening before.
In 2009, an 18-year-old woman fell about 6 meters into the Matart after attempting to climb the center pyramid.
I can't be strapped in like this. I know, I'm right here.
In August 2012, a hailstorm hit the city.
We evacuated the public from the pyramids because we were concerned about the size of the hail and obviously being under glass structures.
The pyramids weren't damaged, but the greenhouses weren't so lucky. Around 900 panes of glass needed to be replaced. For 50 years, the Matart has been a place for families to explore, from teddy bear picnics to Easter egg hunts and New Year's Eve parties.
Happy New Year, Edmonton!
It will celebrate its golden anniversary this fall.
She's an acclaimed artist with more than 30 sculptures across Canada and beyond. Marlene Hilton Moore is now being celebrated with an exhibition showcasing what makes her work unique.
How was the work actually created, installed, and how we as viewers can engage with this work?
Monuments to Moments takes an intimate look behind the scenes, from design and construction to the installation of her sculptures. The exhibition highlights 6 public works of art across Ontario with interactive audio from Hilton Moore herself.
Also unique to this exhibition is Marlene has included 3 works or 3 commissions that were not awarded. So what happens when an artist is pitching an exhibition, or in this case a public art piece, and it doesn't come to fruition? All of the work and all of that prep, where does that go?
The exhibition runs until March 21st. You can meet the former Georgian College professor during a public art panel discussion March 19th at Georgian College.
Before we meet her rescue dogs, Kim Spencer introduces us to her Norse gods.
This is Odin, and this is Freya. She travels with cats and a boar, so animal lover too.
Kim originally painted them for a festival before using them as Halloween decorations, and ended up keeping them on her fence to be neighborly.
Get to know people in a weird, wonderful way.
And some of those people tell Kim she looks like the descendant of Vikings.
I also dress like a Viking because it's really easy. I just put on some leather and fur and there you go. Instant Viking.
While she's not aware of any Nordic heritage, and certainly doesn't connect with the violence often associated with Vikings,
I do have this sort of fierce protector thing about me.
Kim worked in pediatric psychiatry and taught children with disabilities before agreeing to rescue Gregory after seeing him on the euthanasia list at an animal shelter in Los Angeles.
It hurts my heart.
And then, when she heard about all the other dogs in the city being left alone after their people were unexpectedly detained or deported, Kim decided, like a Viking, to embark on a quest to save as many dogs as she can.
I have dogs. I can't imagine being ripped away from them and knowing they're going to die.
After traveling across land and sea and air, Kim spent the final stages of her latest quest in the back of this small van.
This is where I slept. I moved this crate over. 2 of the rescues in these 2 crates, and then the 3rd in the front. And it wasn't fun, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're saving lives. It was stinky. She loves the cuddles.
And now, the 7th dog that Kim has brought home,
You're safe now.
named Wiggle Waggle,
You're safe and you know it.
is ready to be adopted by a forever family.
It just feels good to do something.
And it feels really good, Kim says, to unleash a little Viking energy to help others.
Seize life by the horns. Be a decent human. Just wake up every day and go, what can I do to make the world better?
Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Victoria.